My name is Niall Capello, and I'm going to be teaching you how to make an interactive custom Google map today. Um, the demo that I'm going to be doing is the same type of map and the same requirements that you'll have for the assignment, as each student will be required to create their own custom map. So that's what I'm going to be showing you today. So first of all, you can go to google.com/map/d. You can also Google just my maps or Google my maps. You will need a Google or Gmail, same thing, account. Obviously, I'm already signed in, and I already have created a few maps before, including a demo. So just so you know, this map here, this mapping unit, that one is the map that you're going to be using for your reflective assignment, which is collaborative. But today we're going to be focusing on the individual maps. So I already created a demo. Obviously, you'll want to press create a new map. But for this purpose, I'm going to be clicking on the demo. As you can see, I've also already gone ahead and filled out some of my map title and description. So as the assignment details, you will need to create a map that tells a narrative about your school community. So basically, you just need a story or a theme that sort of unites all of the places that you're going to choose for your map. So whether that's places that are culturally or historically significant to the school community, whether they are places owned by parents, whether they're places that are bilingual or speak multiple languages, that's something that fills a need for the school community. Whatever you choose, basically you'll want to have the title and description reflect that. In my case, I'm doing my personal elementary school, Marquez, in Pacific Palisades in Los Angeles, and I am doing places that students spend their time outside of school. So Marquez is a very tight-knit, close neighborhood and community, and students really spend a lot of time together, not only in school but also out of school. So whether it's in the evenings or on the weekends, these are really the places that students love to hang out. So that's what my map is going to reflect. So obviously I've already written that to save us some time. You can also name your layer. We're only really going to be using one layer. Only one layer is required. That being said, if you want to do more than one layer, feel free. Layers are a really great way to categorize data. So for example, I have a project where I had 3 different layers. One was population of different towns in this county. One was like local landmarks and important places that were noteworthy. And then the third one was like incidents that had occurred. It was for a crime project, so it was crime incidents that had occurred. So that was a really good way where I could, you can click layers on and off. So what that means is that you can have 3 different layers on one map. So I was able to show one county, and at one time I could have all 3 of those layers on, or just 2 of them on, or just 1 of them on. So layers are really helpful, and feel free to use them for this assessment and assignment. But if in the future you're using this for other purposes, that's something really good to keep in mind, especially when you're looking at larger data. The import button is also helpful for that. That's if you have data that's structured in like an Excel sheet or something like that, then you have, it says right there, you can import from a CSV file, a spreadsheet, or a CAML. So that's basically if you're trying to show a lot of data, then import obviously is much more helpful. But for this case, we're going to be creating markers individually. So you can also have a little bit of fun and change your base map if you want. This is pretty much a purely aesthetic choice, but depending on what narrative you're telling, that might also be reflected in the base map. So for example, I have a project that's about the desert, and we use this map because it pretty much makes the entire the entire area look like a desert, even if it's not. So it also could create moodiness. So it really just depends on what you're trying to convey. For this purpose, I will probably just go with the standard. So I'm just zooming in on the area of where my school is. So I'm going to go to Marquez, and this is Marquez Charter School. So this is my school. This is the school that I've chosen. So when you look at something like this, you have a couple different options. options. There's a couple different ways to do a single marker. So I'm going to mark Marquez, even though it doesn't really count because this is, the other places I'm going to be marking are outside of the school, and that's the whole point. I'm just going to demo it with this one first. So obviously it says Marquez Charter School. It has information from Google Map, and then you can add it to Google Map here. Once you've added it, you can then go in and add a description. So in this case, I can say this is Marquez Elementary, serves K through 5 in the Pacific Palisades community. Safe. So another thing that so those are required for each individual marker. You'll need a title, you'll need a short description, and if you have details from Google Maps, you can use them. That being said, there will probably be cases, depending on where your community is or what the markers are, that might not be found through search. So I'm gonna demo this, and I'm gonna show a couple more that are searchable, and then I will show one that isn't, so I can show you guys how to make a marker that isn't easily found, doesn't have the Google Maps. Then also you'll want to add images or video. So for each marker, you will want a photo. What's really amazing about this is not only can you upload your own photos, use a web camera, you can also use the image URL. It also stores your photos. You can also pull in things from Google Drive, and you can do a Google image search. So in this case, I'm just going to say Marquez Charter School. And I'm going to pick this because this is the school. Actually, I will I'm going to pick that because that's the school. So now my marker has a photo, a description, and details from Google Maps. The next thing that I can do is change the marker. So the marker itself, you can go to Style. So once you go to Style, it will change. First, you can change the color. As you can see, the marker color is changing. But that's just like the traditional marker, is this sort of, I don't know what you want to call that, circular-ish thing. But then you can go to more icons, which it has a ton of icons here. So you can choose, icons that reflect, and these, as you can see here in the background, they can also be done in colors. So I'm going to look for something that reflects a school. Maybe in here, or a pencil, since this is, has to be a school. Oh, here, school. So I'm going to choose the custom icon that is school, and I'm going to make it this sort of orangey. So then I have marked my first location. You can see it here. When you pull back, it's marked on the map. So I'm going to now mark a second place that I would consider in the Marquez Elementary community. And this is the Lake Shrine, which you can obviously see right over here. So you can also search for it. I could, search for the Lake Shrine in the Palisades, but I'm just going to click on it because I see it. Obviously, click Add to Map again. This was a place that all of the kids in the community would go on the weekends to feed ducks. It's sort of like the self-made little contained lake, and it has lawns. So, great place for weekend outings. To feed the ducks, walk along the pond, and even lay out on a blanket on the grass. I obviously will add photos. I'm gonna, in this case, actually select a few photos because it's so beautiful, and I encourage you guys to
select as many photos as you want, do whatever there's so many different ways to customize a Google Map. I'm going to show you guys exactly what you need to do for this assignment, but like, go crazy if you want to. Obviously, I'm going to change the style, more icons. Let me see if there's something that's like a lake or outdoors. I see a tree. I'm just going to go with a tree for the time being. That's not really the best one, but, and I'm going to leave it blue because it's a lake. So that is now, I have 2 locations, and you can see both of the locations here when you pull back. So now I'm going to add a location that I don't think will be on the map or searchable. Well, Rogers, the beach is, but specifically there's Tower 15, which is a beach at the Palisades that is like the Palisades beach that everyone goes to, that is, the place to be on weekends. Everyone who goes to Marquez, that's where you hang out on the weekends, is Tower 15. So I'm going to create a marker. So I'm going to click this. I am going to click right here. I am going to put Tower 15, and I'm going to say Pacific Palisades local beach where students spend summers and weekends in spring and fall because it's LA. And I'll say with family and other students. It's common to run into multiple families, when setting up towels and umbrellas at Tower 15. Save. Let's see if they have something for Tower 15 in the Palisades. If they don't, then I'll use something of Will Rogers Beach. Oh, but it looks like they do. Yep, Tower 15, Santa Monica. So there we go. I'm going to, again, change the style, find an icon. Let me see if there's a beach. There's a shark, a tall ship. I'm sure there are all of these things, but I just don't want to sit and look for them for this whole time. So I am going to go with, where did I see the swimmer? I'm going to go with the swimmer. It's beachy. And I will make it, let's go with that color. Okay. So now we have 3 places mapped in what I would call our school community, in my school neighborhood, which it looks big, but obviously within LA it's quite small. So this is, the way that you're going to be building out your map. Each map should have 7 different markers, each one that you will be able to click on. You can add different layers, like I said. You can add different bases. There's so many different things you can do. You can also, this is really cool, you can set the default view. So say you want to, if this, which it is, if my map is taking place specifically in the Pacific Palisades, surrounding Marquez, then I'll probably want it to focus right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, set up this view. Then I'm going to go here. I'm going to put set deep. And then now, when someone opens the map, this is the view that they'll be shown when they open the map. So immediately when they open the map, they're going to be in the community and in the neighborhood. So you'll also want to do that. So besides that, we really want you guys to have fun with this. We want the maps to reflect personality of, the community, the school, the students. So
play around with it. There's so much that you can do with this program. This says individual styles. For example, in the future, you can change that to uniform styles. You can do a sequence of numbers. Obviously for this, we want to keep it as individual styles because we want you guys to be choosing your own icons and colors. In terms of labels, you can have no labels, which we have now. You can also have a name, or you can have the description, which, obviously you wouldn't want for this, but, I usually keep it at no labels, but you may choose to have labels for this or another project. You can also, which is, something really cool I wanted to bring up, you can also go past the regular icons. So you go to more icons, when you're creating a marker. You go to more icons, it pulls all of these up. This is a ton. Icons are great. They're super fun. I love them. But if you're looking for something a little bit more, you can go to Custom Icon. Once you go to Custom Icon, you're in the same area as the photo space that I showed you before, where when you're adding photos to a marker, you're coming to the same space. So you can also do that for icons. You can actually create icons that are photos or logos or, anything. I mean, really, so you can upload them directly. You can use a web camera. You can use an image URL, Google Drive. You can also go to a Google image search. So, for example, if I was to look for which one was this? So this is the Lake Shrine. So, for example, if I wanted to go to the Lake Shrine, go to more icons, custom icon, Google search, Lake Shrine Palisades. I can go to there, I can select that, and then I can actually make that the icon on the map. So it shows the actual photo. Like I said, for this, we're kind of keeping it in the icon space just because it's a little bit easier to track usually. And usually, I think looks a little bit cleaner, but yeah, so in the future you can do that. And it's a great tool for visuals. So, okay, well, I really look forward to seeing everyone's maps. I think they're going to turn out great. Let me know if you have any questions. Also, Google has a ton of amazing resources. Their customer service and their sort of articles that they do on how to use their programs is really amazing. So there's a ton that goes far beyond what I'm telling you today. But also feel free to ask me any questions. Okay, I look forward to seeing your maps.